David Pittard. Yes, here he is. And our own excellent journalist, Alex Goldschmidt. You might know him as just being a DTM expert, but I can tell you, our Alex is a lot more than that. Oh, yes. He is, well, the list of things that our Alex is too great to go into at this moment in time. But he did catch up with David Pittard only days ago, I'm told. And David is here right now to tell us exactly what life's like as he prepares for this weekend's brilliant 24-hour race for Team BRIT.
Thanks very much to David Pittard to join us here on Downforce Radio. David, how are you? All good?
Yes, very well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
Good, good. Now, it's a reunion of sorts, isn't it, with you and the guys at Team BRIT, as the team now goes into battle on their first international 24-hour race. Just give us a bit of a background on how you became involved with the team and how the relationship has developed from there.
Yes, well, I met the Downforce guys back then in 2013, I believe it was, at the Henry Surtees Casting Challenge. It was the event in which I won, and I just got chatting to the guys after a practice or a race session. And yeah, I said, if you ever need any sort of coaching at all for the kart team, give me a shout. And they took me up on the offer, in which I went down to Wright House and looked after the guys for the day. And we've stayed in touch ever since, sort of following each other's progress. I was then very fortunate to have been called up to Rockingham at the beginning of last year for their first car race when they made the switch from karts to cars. Yeah, I'm proud to say that I was able to take their maiden win with them. So it's a very proud moment. So I was sort of looking after Martin and Danny at the time during the day, teaching them how to get the best out of the car, etc., etc. And then by the end of the day, I was teaching them how to spray champagne because we were up on the podium, which was another great feeling to have. And yes. They obviously were very successful last year, taking, I believe, 6 race wins over the course of the year, which is a fantastic achievement. And they very kindly invited me back for the Silverstone 24-hour, the Covrentic series, in which we're taking place next weekend, and I can't wait.
Now, the car that they're using is not exactly the same beast as what you drove last year. It's been heavily uprated. So we've got Mark Jenkins and the guys from Slide Sports Race Engineering on board, and Mark's worked in Formula One and other categories. How have you found it with regards to how the car has developed since you first drove it to what it is now, and how Mark and Martin have adapted subsequently?
It's quite difficult to tell, really, as I did drive the cars probably a good 12 months apart. However, when I saw that Team BRIT had teamed up with Slide Sports, I knew that that was immediately a good move. Mark and his team have, there's not a lot they haven't won in the VW Cup over the years that they've competed in it. So I knew there was probably no better team to be handling the VW Golf. The car's come on a long way. It's obviously been upgraded to more of an endurance spec as opposed to the sprint race spec that I think I drove